In this lesson, we will discuss searching arrays. The topics include: how do you search an array by value? How do you search an array by key? And how do you find the length of an array? Moving to the first code example, we use the inArray function or the array search function to locate a value inside an array. On line 8, we assign an array with values representing first names. On line 11, we assign to a variable $found yes or no the result of inArray George $names. Notice the syntax for inArray: needle, haystack, and strict. So in this example, the needle, or what we're searching for, is George. The haystack, or where we are searching, is the array $names. The third parameter is optional. You would put either true or false for the third parameter if you need what is called strict type checking. Strict type checking will check not only the value but the data type as well. This will prevent possible problems if the values within your array could possibly be interpreted as other data types. The return value from inArray will then be true or false. So in this example, we know that George is the second element. Remember, arrays start with 0, so 0, 1, and 2. George is element 2. So the return value from line 11 will be true. On line 12, we are using the array search function to find the same value, George, in the array $names. The difference between the two is that array search will return the actual key of the element if found, or it will return a Boolean false otherwise. On lines 15 and below, we display the results. So moving now to the browser, let's examine the output. So here's the array with the values representing first names. Found George returns Boolean true. That comes from inArray. From array search, we have the key 2, which represents the third element, element 2. Remember, arrays are 0-based, which will then return a value of George, which is what's done on the next line. Let's now look at searching an array by key. Moving to the second code example, there are two techniques. One is to use array key exists. The second is to use isSet. Notice on line 7, we're creating an array representing first, last, age, and occupation. On line 10, we're using the array key exists function to search for a key last within the array $array ASOC. We would of course expect that this would return true because we have a key last which has a value of Roberts. We can do the same thing by using the isSet function. The isSet function is designed to determine whether a key is set or not within an array. So we represent isSet in parentheses, $array ASOC. We represent the key last. isSet will then return true if the key last has a value, otherwise it will return Boolean false. As usual, on line 16 and below, we display the results using var_dump. Moving over to the browser, let's have a look at the result. So here's our original array. Found by key, true. Found by isSet, true. One last question is how to find the length of an array. The length of an array can be determined by using the count function. The argument for the count function is the array. On line 6 and 7, we assign values for two separate arrays. On line 10, we initialize a variable. On lines 11 and 12, we determine the count of array 1 and the count of array 2. On lines 15 and below, we display the results. Moving now to the browser. Third example. Here's the original array. The second array, which is an associative array. The length of the first array is 5. Again, remember the array is 0-based, so the count starts with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements total. The second element has a length of 4. In review, how do you search an array by value? You would use inArray or array search. InArray returns a true-false value. Array search returns the key if the element is found, otherwise it returns Boolean false. How do you search an array by key? You can use array key exists or isSet. It should be noted that isSet is more efficient and will give you better performance. How do you find the length of an array? you would use the count function with the array as an argument. This concludes our discussion of searching arrays.